Hello. How's everybody? So, email with pics. Let's see what you got. Ooh, not guilds. Very nice. Not sure what the second one is. Are those like... I don't know, there's like stamps or what? Or are they just smaller banknotes? That's awesome, dude. That's a very cool set. So it's finally getting time to start the box. But before we do that, I need a little help from you guys. I'm going to show you some coins. And correct me if I'm wrong. That's a proof, is it not? That's white on black. That's a proof. And that's a proof. And that's a proof. And that's a proof. And that's a proof. Yet, according to every resource I have looked at, these don't exist. Let me go to the scope real quick. So that is a 1992 crown from the Barcelona Olympics. And these are from Gibraltar. Yet, according to every resource out there, these don't exist. They did not issue proofs in 1992. For example, if I can find a way to get this under the camera. Here we go. Where are we at? There we go. 1991 proofs. 1992 BUs. Nothing for 92 proofs. Except for down here. Which that one that says it does not have one is right there. That's all I can think is maybe they just qualify as like BU proof likes or something. Now, some of them do have proofs, but some of them are showing they don't. Because this is a set. Like, here's the one. That one. That says, this is this one. That says no proofs. This one shows proof. This one doesn't. That's a proof. This is some of the pain in the butt. I'm showing you guys this because this is some of the pain in the butt when you deal with world coins. Is sometimes they make them as proofs, but they don't call them proofs. Because they're a pain in the butt. But you have like this one, proof 65, has a listing at $65 when this book was printed. Hey Doug, glad you got it. Which this book was printed, and this is, by the way, this is in 2016 is when this book was made. This is the standard catalog of world coins, 43rd edition. So I've been trying to figure these out because, you know, I'm going to put them out as a set on one of the sales, so I got to figure out what to price them at. Oh, I was just looking at the book. Sorry. Forgot. I have a really bad habit of doing that. I'll bring it. I'll put it back up. Let me get back to it again. Gibraltar, where are you? There you are. Hold on a second, I'm almost there. since I was an idiot and forgot to switch the camera again. So here's the book. 1991. That's this coin. Which, I mean, like I said, that's white on black. But shows 91 did a proof, but 91 only did BUs. No proofs. That one shows that there was a proofs made. At proof 65 would be a $65 coin. So it just makes it a pain in the butt trying to figure it out. So I can figure out what to put the set out as price-wise. It's actually like an 8-coin set. I have 5 of them. All 92s. Yeah, the only thing about sending something like that to a grading company, though, is if you spend out all the money on it and then you figure out that it's worth $5. So, yeah, I always recommend, whenever people ask me, like, when should I get a coin graded, I always recommend only get a coin graded if you're absolutely sure that it's going to be good enough that it's going to justify the cost. But if anybody does decide just for the heck of it to go look into it and finds anything, let me know. So, all right, to the matter at hand. Brand new, still sealed penny box. I suppose. I have never submitted a coin for grading. Not once. Ta-da! All right, well, right off the bat, we got an ender. Right there. Wheat cent. What do you guys think? Not even sure. That one's pretty. That is a rough penny right there on that corner. That penny's had a rough life right there. All right. What the heck? Let's start with the ender roll. I'm not going to flip them all over. I'm not worried about that part. All right. So I know a lot of people, when they do this, they just tear the thing open. I like to save the rolls so I can put them back in. Reuse, recycle. Anything that you can. It's always a good idea. You have a 1997 1/10 ounce gold eagle that has a DDO. Cool. Yeah, I've never been big on the finding of the errors. Like, there are certain people out there, they can just spot anything. Your bank would take them back rolled? That's weird. Mine does. I'm with Chase. Mine won't take them back unrolled. They have to be rolled or they won't take them. All right. Let's see if we got anything else in there. Let's see. I'm not going to look at every individual penny. I'll go back through them off camera and see if there's anything special. Well, pretty much same here, because you need an 09S. Can you afford an 09S? Are you talking about the wheat or the Indian? I mean, I could probably get you one. Just tell me what your budget is. Oh, 09S wheat cent. Yeah, just shoot me an email at some point. Let me know what your budget is. I'll see what I can do. There's a coin that Rick's got right now. I wanted to get it, but I didn't have enough money to get it. He's actually got the 1908 S over S Indian cent right now. But it's like a $400 and something dollar coin. Or 600, I don't know. It's up there. I didn't have enough to get it. If you guys haven't looked at the lot list this week yet, there's a bunch of Rick Snow pennies on there. Indian cents. So if you like the coins and the Rick Snow holders, go check it out. Anything, for those of you that don't know, anything on the lot list, if you're on the mailing list, if it says RS in parentheses at the end, that's a Rick Snow coin. It's in a Rick Snow holder. Am I going to separate the pre-82s? No, I'm not. And not to burst anybody's bubble, but you can't save pennies for copper. That is just not a thing. Because they're in fact not copper, they are bronze. Which means they cannot be sold to like a scrapyard as copper because they're not pure copper. So these people that are stacking up old pennies, they're going to be very disappointed. $2015. 17D. I'm still always watching for those 17Ps because I rarely ever find them. And I can't find them in rolls anymore. I don't know why they do that, honestly. Because they're not copper, they're bronze. The only way, honestly, that I would stack copper would be if it's copper that I just found laying on the ground. Because the amount most places that you're going to spend out buying copper, it's going to take forever for the copper prices to get good enough where you can actually make anything off of it. And like I said, all these things like that 92, all that, I'll go back and check them for like the close AMs and the dates that I know have double dies and all that kind of stuff I'll look for. That's a nice looking 76, honestly. Eh. It's like an AU. Nice. I mean, to each their own if you want to. I'm not saying if you want to, don't do it, but just, you know, keep these things in mind. It's not a bad 64. It's crazy that you can find pennies from that far back that still look like that in circulation. That's just crazy. I think that's the wheat cent that was on the end, I'm pretty sure. Which is... going down. $19.51. Plain date. But hey, it's a Wheatie. Can't complain. There's an 09. Pretty nice condition. Oop, that side's not. So it's got stripes. Really good condition 09s is definitely still something I keep an eye out for. And although I did get this box in January, I'm going to guess we are probably not going to be finding any 2024s in this box. I've seen people online getting rolls of 2024s, but at least in our neck of the woods, we are not getting 24s yet. So we do not have anything for 24s. Penny, nickel, dime, quarter, nothing. Nothing. And here in about probably another year, we should start getting some 23 Philadelphias trickling down our way. So I'll be able to, in about a year, I'll be able to finally start looking for that extra V variety. Apparently, Blue Ridge has a video out. Apparently, they're already finding some errors and varieties on the 24 pennies. Oh, very cool. Thank you. So if any of you guys ever watch Blue Ridge Silverhound, you might want to go check that video out. Might give you some ideas of things to keep an eye out for. Once your 24s finally start showing up. Sold a Mint State 66 the other day for 510 bucks. Damn, nice. And I'm assuming you got it for a penny. I'm guessing, right? See, that's where getting one graded is a good idea. Because you get it for, you know, if you... Yeah, so you got it for a penny. Plus, what, like a combined cost of like 26 bucks, something like that for getting it graded. For shipping and... all that stuff. You have a tube and a half? Dude, I'd say submit the whole freaking tube and a half. If even 2 or 3 of those pay off like that, you definitely came out way on top. 23. 22. 2010 or 2020. $1983. Doesn't look like it's the double. Nope. For those who don't know, the 1983 double die is one of my bucket list coins. Because that's my wife's birthday. That's her birth year. And she really wants one. But they're really expensive, so I'm kind of hoping to find one so I don't have to pay out the money to buy her one. If I have to, eventually I will, but I'm hoping just to find one. 17. Nope, that's a Denver. That's what I'm saying. He's just sending the whole freaking thing in. Do it as a bulk thing. Nice. See, like I said, unless it's like a strong doubling, I've never been good at finding that stuff. You know, these ones where it's like one little tiny thing that's on there and that lets you know that it's a double. Like, I do not understand how people find those. I don't have that talent. What am I looking for Angela? The 1983 double die. Lincoln Cent. Which I know is, you know, the odds of finding one in a box are minuscule. I probably have a better chance of finding the 69S double die. Oh, God. Rick's got a 69S double die in his shop right now that's like a mid-state 65 or 66. It's currently listed for just shy of $500,000. If anybody's interested, you know. You got their 4 boxes a week, and I'm guessing you've never found one. Or I'm sure we would have heard about it. That's a D. I don't know about now, but I know, oddly, I'd have to look it up again to see if it's still the same case, but in higher grades, the 17 Denvers were running higher prices than the Phillies. I'm sure the Phillies will eventually take them over because that's the only year that's ever going to be on the penny. If it hasn't already, like I said, I haven't checked it out in a while, but for the longest time that was the double Monticello. I definitely noticed. Yeah, like I said, if it's the obvious ones, I'll notice it. But if it's like, you know, if it's like a class 8, I'm never going to find that. You know, that's for guys like Rick. That's why he's got the name Eagle Eye. Because he can spot anything. He's still human though, so he still makes mistakes. I've caught him a few times. And he, like this, he gave me the wrong coins this week. So I've got 10 coins that I have to take back next week to swap them out for the right ones. But he, you know, he's human. It happens. Can't complain. I know 87, either Denver or Philly. There's a double dot, or they're doubling in the date. I think it's the Philly. Yep, and I just do not have that kind of time. So I always tell you guys, you know, like, say when you buy the, you know, different various sets from me, or you get like the, when we have them available, when you get the 100 foreign boxes or whatever. So I tell you, you could find literally anything in those, because we do not have the time to search every single coin we go through on a weekly basis for every little thing. So I've had plenty of times that people have found really cool stuff on coins that I've sold them. They found double dies and all kinds of stuff. So you never know when you're gonna get that extra cool thing from stuff you get from us. And I'm not upset about it. I'm glad you guys find stuff when you do. Let's peek at this one just for a second. 87, not the double. Because I like knowing that you guys are gonna make out well on what you got from us. So I do, like, you know, when I go back through these, I do a quick survey of anything obvious. You know, the ones that I know about and all that kind of thing. Like, I'm not one of those people that's going to sit there and weigh every single 1982 I ever come across. I understand that means there's a possibility I'm losing out on some stuff, but hey. Coolest thing I ever sold you was a medallion that nobody knew what they were looking at, and it was a North copper dollar. Oh, cool. Hey man, you know what? I carry medallions because you guys like medallions. Some of the medallions I know what they are. Most of them I don't. So yeah, medallions are one of those places I know people have gotten really good deals from us because they knew what they were looking for. Same with tokens. I can't count the number of times. If you guys remember back when Jason Lutzenhauser was one of our regulars, I can't count the number of times dude would, like, you know, hit me up on Facebook and be like, oh, dude, that token I got from you turned out to be a $60 token. And then there was another one in that bundle that was 30 and one that was 20. I'm like, awesome, dude. He got the bundle from us for $10. So he made out really well. You know, you guys like it, we'll carry it. Simple as that. There's that uber beat up one. Weedy, 1940. Wow. 3 rolls in already, 2 wheats. Can't complain. Send me an email. I will keep an eye out. It has not popped up yet. $2021, I think. No, 23. Ba-ding. That'll be the wife hitting me up from work because she's on break. You know they're in good shape when they glare out the camera like that. Wonder if I'll find a dime in this box. Usually every box I do, I find at least one dime in a penny roll. I don't know if that's just an Arizona thing or if you guys have that happen a lot too. But I find a lot of dimes in penny rolls. Kind of going back to what we were talking about. I do kind of miss sometimes when I had Angela around helping to look at coins. Because she actually was pretty good at spotting out stuff. She found a lot of stuff that I missed. $2016. Lincoln on a log. Let's see if it's a double foot. Nope. And does not look like the double thumb either. That's another one I've never found yet. The double foot or the double thumb. And then I know there's that one in the cabin where it's like the certain stones are doubled. Yeah, I know there's a lot of different versions. And then the professional life one, I believe, is the one that has like some doubling in the building. But see now, Bo, if you send me that penny, you got me kind of curious if I'm gonna wanna submit that thing. I typically kind of figure whenever somebody just says that they're going to send me a coin that they found just because they found a bunch, that typically that means that they're not charging me. If you sent it to me with a bill, I would just send it back. It would be in your next package that goes out. 23. Yeah, not. I kind of figured there wouldn't be any 24s in here. Way, way too early. I don't even have all the 23s yet. I'm pretty sure I have like all the Denvers. But like I said, it takes forever to get the the Phillies up in here. Yes, it has hit. Give me a sec. Double Monticello. Oh yeah, definitely very obvious. Yeah, that's one I'm pretty sure that's the date that's one I usually keep an eye out for. There's a couple of them that have doubling that obvious. Maybe I should do that soon. Maybe I should do a nickel box. I haven't done a nickel box hunt in a while. Like I've never found an Indian in a box either. It'd be cool to finally find an Indian. You'll send me a bill to ship you your stuff? I don't think that's how that works, man. All right, roll number 4. $60 something. It's the first penny box hunt I've done in a while. The last hunt I did was that that $50 box that was kind of poo. I'd like to do a dollar box at some point, but I don't have $1,000 to have sitting in a box until I get through it. But I would actually like to do a dollar box someday. Just for, you know, if nothing else, it would help me fill in my dollar coin collection. Which pretty much is non-existent at the moment. So that would help me get it started, because I know a lot of those dollar boxes have a ton of BUs in them. They got a lot of proofs in them. You just have to have the $1,000 that you can have set aside long enough to have the box while you're looking through it You know, and if you have really good luck on the box, you got to be able to afford to, you know, be keeping all of those dollar coins. You know, it's like, what happens if you get $1,000 box of coins and every single one of them is a keeper? Now you have to decide, all right, am I going to keep these all because they're all worth keeping and be out $1,000 until I make more money? Which, of course, most of us, you know, wouldn't be able to afford to do that. So we'd have to make those hard decisions on which ones to keep. Your box breaks is kind of nice for a Sunday light show. Yeah, I want to start doing this more often. Not just, you know, I never intended for this channel to ever end up being nothing but sales. That was never my intention. But, you know, life happens, craziness happens. And now I'm trying to, now I'm working on steering it back. Oh, I am. I always watch out for the 17Ps. Because that's, they're getting tougher to find. Even trying to find them in rolls is getting harder. And they're getting more expensive. They're getting like crazy expensive for the rare times that people do have them. Oh, it's an 82. It's not an 83. Okay. So what do you guys think? Should I try and, once we're through this, get through this box, should I do a nickel box next? A good looking 93. So all the ones, if you're actually wondering, that look like they might be uncirculated are all going in a little pile over there. And then I will look closer at those to see if they actually are, in fact, still uncirculated or not. If they are, they go in a tube. If they're not, they go back in a roll. Got a bunch of pennies on my desk. I gotta get in a tube soon. Yeah, hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, I'll be getting Cheapskate Coin Talk going again. I just made a purchase towards doing one of the first episodes that I want to do. And then at some point, I would really like to get the Coins of the World series really going. That one is one I kept trying to get going. And I just was never able to keep on it. Because there's... those episodes are harder to make than one might think. There's so much information that is really a tougher show to put together. But I really want to do it because, as I'm sure all of you know, world coins are really where my passion is. And I really want to help get more people into them. There's a D, right? That looks like a D. Yep, that's a D. Pretty stuff in that album. Which album are we talking about? Next roll. Oh yeah, that Not Guild album. If you didn't already, dude, you should send Bo the photos that you sent me. Bo would really appreciate that. How much did that run you, just out of curiosity? Because that looked like everything in there was uncirculated. Oh, you should get the Reichmark one if you have the ability. Oh, come on. The coins are stuck. Get out of the roll. Oh, there we go. Now they're moving. Yeah, hit me up when you do that video. I want to see that. Oh yeah, for what's in there, I'd say that was a pretty fair price. I'd have to look up the stuff that's in there, but I would have to say that I'm sure that was well worth that. Because some of those are some of the harder to find ones. But definitely an awesome collection, man. For sure. Congrats. That's an awesome pickup. Banknotes are a little tricky for me as far as selling them because obviously, as you guys know, I always have banknotes, or whenever I can get them, I have them. But when it comes to buying the really high price ones, I always have to weigh it because we don't have a lot of money. So if I buy something that's $600-700 or whatever, and then nobody buys it, now I'm stuck with this thing that I gotta hope and pray to eventually find somebody that will buy it. Or I have to take it back to the shop, sell it back for less than I bought it for, and take the loss on it. So I'm very careful when it comes to the higher dollar stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I always say to you guys, help draw more people in. And I know you guys always make the comments about competition and all that, even though you don't have to worry about that. But if we end up at a point where all of you that are the regulars on our channel have everything, then, if we're not getting new people, we're kind of out of business. You talking about the one that had the goo on it? Although expanding beyond YouTube, are you talking about that one? Oh, you're talking about something out of Aaron's. But we are expanding out of YouTube is something we are looking to do this year. Still do YouTube, of course, but you have a sinking suspicion that came from the same family. That Bible was absolutely amazing to look at, especially with the lithographs in it. Man, early 1700s Bible, that could be worth something too. Another thing that we've been talking about. I don't know if it's something you guys would be interested in or not, but if we decided to maybe give it a go, would you guys be interested in us doing something having to do with other types of collectibles? I don't know if it's something we'll actually do or not, but if we... You know, things like maybe like, you know, trading card games, cards and stuff like that. Sports cards. Stamps. I can get stamps for days. You guys do not even realize, but I never do because I don't, to my knowledge, I don't know anybody who collects stamps. I don't know if any of you guys collect stamps or not, but you never talk about them, so I guess I just assume none of you do. But if you guys ever want me to add stamps to the weeklies, dude, I can get stamps for days. Sounds awesome. Ooh, 83. No, Z double die. Garbage Pail Kids. Do you know how hard those are to find now, dude? Garbage Pail Kids cards are really hard to find. Because there are, but there are other collectibles I do know some things about. I'm not well versed in stamps. But if it's something you guys would be interested in, I would be willing to learn. Still looking for the expansion for Tycoon Saloon. I don't even know what that is. What is Tycoon Saloon? Another thing I happen to be versed in because I play it is Magic the Gathering. And I have a lot of Magic the Gathering cards, so... including a lot of duplicates. The old stamps from 150 to 200 years ago. They've been used as tax tokens. Still collectible for those coin guys. Like I said, if there's anybody out here, out in our channel that collects stamps, I do not mind giving that a go. Because I can get a lot of stamps. But I don't want to get them unless, you know, there's at least, I know there's at least a few people that collect them on our channel. And if we did do it, I'd do it basically like how we do the others, you know. 10 banknotes, 10 medallions, 10 stamps. Or stamp lots, whatever. It's just an easy way for me to remember what to put in there. 10, 10, 10, and then a somewhat even number of world coins versus US coins. That's how I always try and set them up, except for the weeks where we have like a lot of different types of things, like sets or books or albums or whatever. I know nobody seems to want the trifold albums anymore, which is too bad because I have got a crap ton of those right now. I've even been trying to sell them. Well, you guys have been there, you've seen. I've been trying to do them in like big bundles for super cheap and nobody wants them. So, but I might start doing some kind of like a giveaway or something for those. Stamps are like the typeset currency. The older, more significant, the cooler the factor. Like the upside down biplane. Yeah, I do know about that one. Only because I saw the movie Brewster's Millions many times. And they used that stamp. Well, it was a replica of that stamp. They used it in that movie. I've been bummed out that none of the streaming services have that movie. Because Angela's never seen it, and I want her to be able to see it someday. That is a fantastic movie. Lincoln on a log. See if it has any of the stuff. How long have you guys been sitting on the scope cam? How long has it been since I forgot to put it back? Nope, no doubling. If that ever happens, remind me, guys. Be like, hey, camera. Because I get, especially when I'm doing this kind of stuff, I will get tunnel vision and I will forget to switch stuff. That's a movie that I'm surprised that nobody's ever decided to redo for the current generation. Because that was a great movie. One of the old classics. Probably my favorite Richard Pryor movie. There's a 17. Looks like a D, though. Nope, that's a P. Found a 17P. To be honest with you, the way social dilemmas nowadays, I'm really surprised the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd was never remade. Yeah, that was a really good movie. Hey, Richard. I thought it was cool that they did a sequel to Coming to America. I thought that was neat. So not so much so far by way of fines. Found one 2017P. We found 2 wheats. And then I got a big stack building up of ones that I got to go through to see if they're actually unks or not. And then, of course, the rest of these that we've been going through, I'll go back through later off cam on scope to see if there's anything important on them. There was actually a thing that I read a while back that was kind of came from the concept of the Trading Places movie. That basically said that if you take somebody who is like a millionaire and you give all of their money to somebody who's living on the streets, in 10 years, the person will be broke and back on the streets, and the millionaire will be back to being a millionaire again. And there's a lot of factors that go into it. Same thing with people that win the lottery. The reason why most people who win the big money on the lotteries end up, in the end, they end up worse off than they were if they never would have won it, is because when you become wealthy at a slow pace because you work for it, as your wealth builds, you're learning how to handle that new wealth and everything that goes with it. When it just suddenly is thrust upon you, you didn't have any chance to learn, the proper way of doing things as a wealthy person. So people tend to make very bad decisions, and they end up massively in debt because of not knowing how to handle having that kind of money. Which is why it's always recommended for anybody who plays the lottery. The biggest recommendation from all the financial experts out there: if you do actually end up being the person that wins it, the first thing is do not quit your job. And the second thing is have a financial team set in place before you get the money that will be able to help you to handle it. I do not see a doubled foot or a double thumb. So I don't play the lottery personally. The most that I do is like, you know, every now and again, if I'm in a weird mood, I'll buy like a scratcher. Just for something to do. But I don't play the lottery. I don't go to casinos. That is not a bad looking 91. I especially don't go to casinos because I understand math. Anybody who really understands math will avoid casinos. And out of that 2 billion, he probably got what, like 300 million? And the rest of it all went to tax? Now, the one I wouldn't have mind winning, and I knew somebody who won it. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the, I think it was like in the 90s, they had this, the scratcher game that the top prize that you could win on that scratcher game was the $1,000 a week for life. Just spending it away. Yep, that's the mistake most of them make. But I did know somebody who won the $1,000 for life, and the last I knew, he was living in like Maui somewhere. The sad part of it is that, you know, back in the 90s when he first won it, $1,000 a week for life was a lot of money. That was, you know, that was more than some people were making in a month in a minimum wage job. So that was actually pretty good money. Nowadays, $1,000 a week is, it's not terrible, but it's not fantastic. Like we've been talking about the, it's my wife and I. Been talking about the girl that ended up getting the GM job over her at half the pay that Angela was asking for her to take that job. So she's making, her salary as the new GM is she's making $4,000 a month. which to somebody working minimum wage, you know, $4 grand a month might sound decent, but the amount of hours that she has to put in, hey, 22 Philadelphia. The amount of hours that she has to put in, she's pretty much making the same amount of money as the crew is at minimum wage, broken down by hourly. That's why you got to be careful if you ever take a job that's salary. Figure up what the hourly would be on that salary for based on what you're, you know, pretty sure you're going to be working to see if it's actually worth it or not. If it's not, then unless you're doing it just because it's a field that you really believe in, don't take the salary job. Oh, she's already crashing and burning. The girl that got promoted over Angela was the girl that the previous GM and all of the local district corporate guys were all telling them, do not promote her. And now they're finding out why. She is not handling that job well. And yeah, she's starting to crumble. All right, we'll do one more roll for tonight. And then I got some things I got to do before Angela gets off work. Again, for anybody who hasn't looked at the list yet, if you're on the mailing list, you should check out some of the stuff that's on there. That's the Rick Snow coins. There's some really nice ones on there. And again, for anybody who doesn't know, any lot on the mailing list that has RS in parentheses next to it means that it is in a Rick Snow holder. So that means that Rick Snow is the guy that graded it, attributed it. Oh, when I do these, I'm looking for anything and everything. Anything that's, you know, still uncirculated, obviously I hang on to. I look for the, you know, any 2009s that are in good enough condition, I hang on to. Of course, obviously, like Wheat Sense, the 2017 Ps, I did find one so far today. And then I'll go back later on off camera. I'll go back and look through and look for the, you know, always looking for the 83 double die because that's one of our bucket coins that Angela wants because it's her birth year. So I always watch for that. Of course, any, you know, 69 S's, we look for the doubling. Any years that we know has something, we check to see if it's got it. And then, of course, I'll be looking for, since I'm in the process of rebuilding our collection, I'll be looking for any of the years that we don't have that are still in really good condition. Oh, Richard, question for you. Because you weren't on when I was talking about it. Do you have any interest in stamps? Because we're talking about possibility of other collectibles that I could actually start adding in or doing maybe different things on. And stamps is one of those things I can get a ton of stamps. The only reason I haven't is just because I don't know if there's anybody on our channel that collects stamps. Yeah, U.S. stamps. I can get huge amounts of U.S. stamps. If anybody would be interested in seeing those in the sales. Pretty sure that's Denver. Yep, that's a Denver. I mean, just like with coins, you know, I put the best prices on them that I can. I'm not well versed in stamps, so I would be learning as I went. But Rick also carries stamps. He's got a bunch of them. And he's got them from, you know, the ones that are worth a couple of bucks up to some of them that are worth hundreds. But, you know, I didn't know if anybody collected medallions or anything like that or tokens. It's just I was getting them when I bought the big World Coin piles and bundles that I was just buying in bulk. They were also coming with medallions and tokens in them. And, you know, folks on the streams were interested in them and were buying them. So that's why I've made sure to keep them in. I don't know, maybe I'll pick up a few, just see if there's anybody that bites on them. You know, if we get some bites, then we know. Guess that's the best way to handle it, right? Oh, I know. You were just getting them because they happened to be they're still there when you did the sellout. But then you have folks like, you know, Kelly Ray, who loves her medallions. And Jay Smokes is a big fan of medallions, too. Yeah, I know. As with anything, there's going to be the ones that have value and the ones that don't. And you know, I'm willing to put the work in to learn, as long as there's people that are interested to make that work pay off, you know? You worked at Philatelic Center? For the USPS? Oh, cool. I don't know what the Philatelic Center is, but cool. All right. Let me get a little bowl real quick. One sec. Stamp Collector Center. Oh, okay. Yeah, the stuff I'm talking about wouldn't be the, you know, the current stuff. It'd be older. Definitely older stuff. Like I said, maybe I'll get some. Maybe I'll pick up some of the bulk stuff that he's got and see if we get any bites on it. Oh, Richard, did you want me to send you a list of the U.S. large cents that were still available, or no? You never emailed about it, so I figured I'd ask while you're on here. Okay. I'll get that out to you a little bit later on tonight. All right, so here were the couple of finds for tonight. Got the 1940, or the 1940. And 1951. And did find one 17p. Not in the greatest of shape. It'll go back into circulation, but did find one. So that was the stuffs from tonight. We made it through 8 of the rolls. So I don't know. It's probably not going to be a set night each week that I do this, going through some more of it, but just keep an eye out. When I pop on, I pop on. And like I said, Cheapskate Coin Talk is coming soon. It is going to be making the comeback soon. Like I said, I did just make a purchase towards one of the episodes that I want to do for it. So that is coming. I am hoping to actually make that an actual scheduled show. So it'll be like, you know, the same time each time or something like that. Well, thank you, sir. Hey, I can show you guys one collectible thing I got recently that has nothing to do with coins. Give me a sec. I gotta go grab it. So this, as I said, this is another one of my joys. This is from the Magic the Gathering card game. Lord of the Pits. This is from the Unlimited, or the Unlimited, right? Yeah, Unlimited series. This was the third series they ever put out. It was Alpha, Beta, then Unlimited. And this one is, it's a $55 card. Well, Magic the Gathering, you have to be into playing the game in order to really care about the cards. And then here's a couple of the other ones that were in the same bundle that I got. Obscenius Golem. Also from the Unlimited set. This one's for $3.83. Clone. From the Unlimited set, this is a $12 card. And this is actually a beta. This is the second series they ever put out. And it's a $10. Yeah, I can tell you for Magic the Gathering, the Holy Grail card is from the Alpha set. It's a card called Black Lotus. And you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you can ever, like you're in the wrong business. The booster boxes, if you ever find a booster box for Alpha, those things go at auction. Unopened booster boxes of Alpha cards go at auction. Starting bid at $95,000 for a box of 100 cards. Betas, a booster box of betas would be, that would be a top bid. It would be around $90,000 to $100,000. I was watching a YouTube video a few days ago of a guy that actually had one of those, the beta ones. And it was a $98,000 beta booster box that he opened for the first time ever. Because he's a dealer and because he was submitting every single one of the cards for grading. Yeah, baseball cards I know a bit about as well. I know still to this day for baseball cards, the 1909 T206 white border Honus Wagner card is still the most expensive baseball card in the world. Because there's only 5 of them known to exist. So I have some knowledge in sports cards. I do have some knowledge in comic books. Things like Transformers, the old Mattel toys. The original Optimus Prime still in the box is like, last time I looked at it, it's like $35,000-$40,000. So definitely there are other collectibles that I do have knowledge in. Seen baseball cards sold cheap on whatnot that you would not sell for less than $3 to $5 grand. That's where you buy them for cheap and then sell them for that. The rest went into spokes of a bicycle. Yep. The old crappy cards are the people that nobody cared about. Mickey Mantle rookie, yep. Yeah, Babe Ruth rookie. Basically, any of the old big names, their rookie cards are super valuable. I used to have, like, back when I was a kid, I collected baseball cards. So I used to have, like, you know, I had Mark McGwire's rookie card and Jose Canseco's rookie card. But, you know, being a little kid, I didn't understand value at the time. So I didn't understand keep it in really beautiful condition. Because when I become an adult, this thing's going to be worth a bunch of money. I didn't understand that as a kid of 8 years old. So knowing now what some of the stuff I had back then is worth, I'm just like, oh my lord. Oh, you got a Jose Canseco? Nice. I had I used to collect comic books when I was a kid too, and because my memory is stupid when it comes to a lot of stuff, I happen to know for a fact that some of the comic books I had, like say for example, I had the New Mutants #2. That's like a $10,000 comic book now. So, for those of you that have kids, do your best to explain to them, if you keep this very nice and in good condition, when you get older, it is going to be worth stupid money. And give them examples of comic books and toys and sports cards and show them the value now. Because if somebody would have showed that to me back then, oh my lord, I can't even imagine how different financially my life would be today. Educate the young. Let them know about that stuff. And get them into coin collecting. It has been completely proven that any kid that gets into coin collecting is more financially responsible when they become an adult. So get them into it. So what I was thinking about doing with all the, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see or not. Everything up there that is all trifold albums. So I've been thinking about, since I have so many of them, I've been wanting for a while to try and do something for kids. The trick is, like, especially on YouTube, like, you know, how do you know that it's actually a kid? That's one of the big things I never could figure out a way to work out. You had Iron Man #1 mint, which had to sell for $200 just to pay your babysitter. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Or 3-pence trifold. I don't even know if there is such a thing. I'm sure there is. Those are all the basic ones, you know, quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies, dollars. I do have one that I'm planning on filling myself. And using it for, it'll either be a big lot in one of the sales, or I'll use it for one of the big giveaways or something. But it's the only one of these I've ever seen. Let me grab it. So, no, this is not for sale. I'm just showing it to you. It's called the Stockbook Coin Folder. $0.01, $0.05, $0.10, $0.25, $50, and $1. But it's got 3 rows of 5 for pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. Quarters is 3 rows of 4. Dimes is 3 rows of 5. Half dollars, it has slots for 6 of them. And then dollar coins, it has for 6. And it is the larger, like the Ikes, not the little Sotheby's. So I'm going to fill this thing up at some point with something or other. Put a nice mix in it. And then, like I said, it'll either end up being a lot in one of our sales, or I'll use it as a giveaway, or something. But, alright guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Some point next week I'll get back on and we'll do some more rolls out of that box. So everybody have a great night. Richard, I'll get you that email out. And I will see you guys all on Tuesday for the sale. If you haven't yet, go check out the list. It's been out for a couple of days now. Going to have